Hey, morning YouTube, friends and family. Welcome to September in Maine, and it's Saturday. I am heading off to another interview for my Maine Master Naturalist Founders video. This time in Wiscasset, along the Kennebec River at the Chewonki Institute. Thanks for coming along. I'll catch you a little bit later on the road. I'm kind of in a rush, running a little bit late. Stick around. Well, what has changed since last we spoke? Well, my beard's got a little bit longer. I'm contemplating just letting it go now at this point. I'm just really lazy on the whole facial hair thing. I have not been working on the slaughterhouse the past week. Instead, Troy and Pete and I have started a new addition to a house in Hollowell, and I'll insert some video here. Howdy folks, been a long time, hasn't it? This is the new project Troy and Pete gathered up that we're working on. We're installing these hemlock collar How much do you think these things weigh, did we say?
1,000 pounds.
1,000 pounds! No, they're a few hundred pounds though.
Yeah.
And Pete had this genius idea to use an electric winch to get them up and dangle above our heads. It's working great. Fun working with those guys on this project. It's a very straightforward square building with a nice steep roof, lots of light and windows. It's a really fun project, and it's very close to home, so I'm excited about that for sure. All of a sudden there's just everybody screaming for work. We have this addition in Hollowell. We're still working on the slaughterhouse. They're getting very anxious to be able to get in there before the heating season hits. And then there's just a lot of small outlying jobs that I'm trying to get done before the snow flies, even though it's still technically summer. School has started. Maybe I can put a first day of school video in here. And the twins are not very thrilled to be back to school. Milo is lukewarm about being back to school. The Windsor Fair is happening, which is like the fair. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to get to the fair because I've also been working a lot. You know, September is going to be a very busy month for the lani-caputo family. Starting next weekend, Andrea will be gone for 10 straight days to a writing retreat. So that leaves me home alone with the kids to do all the stuff I'm supposed to do on top of my incredible workload right now. A little bit stressed out about that. It was something we had planned for long ago, so it's not an option to change, and I wouldn't want to because Andrea, needs to do these sorts of things. Shoot, I took a wrong turn. Damn it. And then 1 week from next weekend, we will be traveling to Massachusetts to go to Andrea's brother's wedding. The weekend after that, Andrea's parents, two of Andrea's sisters will be here, and we will be celebrating my ex-stepmother's 70th birthday at our house. So we are incredibly busy for the month of September. Thanks for coming with me on my day today. I don't even know if I'm on the right road at this point. I'm just pointed in the right direction, I think. Hey folks, man, that was a lot of fun. I'm meeting so many cool people doing these interviews. You know, these founders for the Maine Master Naturalist program are inspiration to a whole new generation of naturalists. Natural history, which is the larger story of nature, is being lost to specialization. You know, everybody seems to have their little niche that they get involved with. You know, like, I study insects, I study, you know, woody plants, I study marine mammals. Natural history is the interconnectedness of all of that and the story of all of life and habitat and nature. And it's just very reassuring to me that there are folks out there that are willing to volunteer their time to ensure that future generations are inspired to learn the whole story and not just a very small sliver of it. I'm heading home. I think Milo's already left to go to the Sheepscot General to go to work, and the family has left to go to camp, so I'm gonna be alone, but that's okay. Welcome to a holiday weekend in Wiscasset, Maine. I know I've talked about this before, but Wiscasset is a major bottleneck on US Route 1. It goes right through the little quaint, cute little village of Wiscasset downtown. There can be traffic backed up for miles sometime because there's a bridge that everybody has to drive over. They've talked about making a bypass, but the people in Wiscasset don't want it because then it won't funnel the traffic through their downtown and cause them to stop and buy things. Isn't everything driven these days by people buying things? So excited. We're finally getting tomatoes in the garden. This year I planted only cherry tomatoes and very small plum tomatoes. We have a ton of peppers. There's serranos and there's jalapenos, and I think there's some poblanos in there too. I'm really excited. The Swiss chard is just ever bearing. We have more Swiss chard. Every meal has Swiss chard in it nowadays. And the cucumbers just starting. We're getting like little baby cukes. There's always carrots. The broccoli is kind of spent for now. It needs a little bit more time to regenerate. Zephyr's corn is just going gangbusters. I've already been harvesting some tomatillos. And the beans, they've yet to flower, but I'm still hopeful that within the next 2 to 3 weeks before we start getting frost, that they'll do their thing. That was the quick and dirty, a garden update. Hope you enjoyed it. And the grapes. This is a variety called Sabravois. It's supposed to be a table grape, a wine grape, and a vinegar grape. Triple purpose. They're pretty tasty. They do have seeds. The boys love them. So do I. And I think the ducks like them a little bit too. And the hardy kiwi, also called the Japanese kiwi. And the apples. You know, I don't spray my apples, so they get insects that get in them. But you know what? That's really, it's not a big deal. You just eat around the brown parts. I guess if there's a message about today's movie, I would simply put it as, you are nature. Nature is you, and there's so much joy and fulfillment that can come from a healthy relationship to your environment. And I know that sounds corny and sappy, and you know, being an environmentalist has a politically charged word. There's a simpler life that doesn't require a lot of resources that anybody can create for themselves. And granted, it does take a piece of land, and it takes, you know, a certain amount of stuff to make this happen, but it really isn't a lot for most Americans, you know, to take a part in a life which uses less and which relies more on your own craft, your own ability to grow things and make things and support yourself. I think that we're losing touch with that, at least in my country, that we're spending too much time in the almighty pursuit of the almighty dollar and less time figuring out what it is that makes us happy, what it is that makes us healthy, and what it is that ensures future generations will have a good life on earth. All right, call me hippy dippy. That's my little sermon for today. I'm getting down off my soapbox now. It's just such a beautiful day. It's dry. It's definitely feeling like fall, which is my favorite season of the year. Hey, on my way to pick up number one, firstborn Milo. He's been working, I believe, since noon at the Sheepscot General. He's behind the counter now, and he's also making sandwiches and doing all kinds of as-needed tasks, so I'm really excited for him. He has a very busy schedule as well, what with school, with cross-country practice and meets, and now working both weekend days, so all power to him, man. Good kid, doing the good thing. Look, it's YouTube.
Oh, welcome back, YouTube.
It's the weekend tube.
I made a Reuben for a guy today, and he said it was the best Reuben he's ever had.
Oh, no way, really?
Yeah, that was the first sandwich that I made all by my lonesome. So
A Reuben has sauerkraut? What is in a Reuben?
I put rye bread, like special sauce. It's like a mayonnaise combo with something else.
Yep.
You wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
And then Swiss cheese, and then sauerkraut, and then I think it was a tempeh Reuben, so it had tempeh too.
Oh, right on.